All right, before I start this, nobody's allowed to get mad at me for bullying or punching down because this guy already calls himself annoying nerd. And I know he doesn't exactly say that, but he does refer to himself as someone who could possibly be that in this situation. And, I'm inclined to somewhat agree with him that he might be doing that. But I also have to admit that he's kind of right. And I want to talk about that today. So, the comment I got is, you can read it. Bro, that's decent form. I don't want to be the annoying nerd, but you need to go fully down and lock your elbows when you go up. Anyway, keep it up. And first off, thank you for leaving a comment and the compliment of decent, which I will take as a compliment. And so you're kind of being an annoying nerd because I guess, like me, it's just in your nature. I won't go into that. You're also kind of wrong. That's why I'm admitting like you are kind of being an annoying nerd. A push-up only has to go down to where the elbow bends 90 degrees. I'm pretty sure that's what a push-up is. Once your elbow is at 90 degrees, that's a push-up. You go back up, that's a push-up. That's one rep. If you go lower, that's like bonus points. That's the way I view this. I think when it comes down to like doing them for speed or whatever, once you go to 90 degrees, that's officially a push-up. And my source is myself. I think I read that in a YouTube comment, and I'm taking it as fact because it just sounds right. You don't have to go all the way down to the ground to reach 90 degrees. Additionally, he mentioned something else. So he said you need to go fully down and lock your elbows when you go up. So I've already explained my reasoning for if I don't go fully down, which I believe I'm attempting to touch my chest to the floor on every single rep. If I don't go fully down, I'm gonna say it's very likely this is like a 1% out of all my push-ups, and that I think that's very generous actually. I think at least 99% of my push-ups, my chest is touching the floor. I can't push my chest through the floor. I'm not at that level of strength or size yet, and maybe someone might say you want to kiss the floor or nose to the ground. I don't know. I don't believe in that. I think chest to ground is totally sufficient. That's where I'm pushing from, is basically my chest. So once my chest is at the ground, that's a good rep to me. Locking your elbows when you go all the way up. This is me being a nerd and saying, okay, fair enough. Like, you got me there. I don't typically lock my elbows on the way up. All the way. I don't go all the way up typically. I want to get done with these push-ups quickly, and that's just because there's so many of them. I want to get them done as fast as possible. I know if I lock my elbow on the way up, that's a lot of time spent, and I have to be careful. Like, you do want to be really careful when you lock out. You don't want to mess up your elbow, and I find that just not doing that brings my mind at ease. I don't have to think about it as much, and I don't have to spend as much time doing the motion. So that's my reasoning basically for doing that. I don't really need to justify myself at all. After all, this is a totally arbitrary challenge that I chose to do, and the number 1 million, like, what does it really mean? I won't get into that and all that nuance and whatever, but when we're talking specifically about form, I do agree the correct way, the best way to do a push-up, if you're training for this, is to go fully down and fully up. I agree with you there. I disagree that this is like something everybody should be doing. I don't really have any reason to necessarily believe that. Maybe there is a reason to do push-ups where you don't go all the way down. For example, triangle push-ups, some people might have a lot of trouble getting all the way down just because there's going to be a lot more bend in your elbow and it's going to require a lot more strength. Or diamond push-ups. Did I say triangle push-ups? I meant diamond push-ups, where your fingers form a diamond and your hands are very close together. So, there's arguments. This is all arbitrary. This is all nuance. I believe the word is banal, minutia. It's like little things that at the end of the day, they don't matter too much. And yet I agree with this guy. So that's why the push-ups today, I believe they look a lot cleaner. They're not perfect still. I could be performing the hollow body position throughout the entire rep, or always at the top do the hollow body position, but I'm not that much of a perfectionist. All right, it matters to me somewhat, but not that much. But I am willing to improve, and I'm willing to put in the time to at least try things out. So I'm going to be trying out these push-ups the way this guy says to do them, just because I agree to a large degree. I agree. You're not like a huge nerd. You're just a little bit of a nerd. And I can recognize that because real recognize real. And I'm a real freaking nerd sometimes. So thank you for the comment. Again, thank you, because fair enough. You make a lot of good points. 2 points to be exact. And they're good. Some things that I do, or I've started to do now that I'm done with the knuckle push-ups, is I'm not doing knuckle push-ups. So that's a huge relief for me. Additionally, I am pointing my hands out. So I've basically gone back to the form I was doing before, with the hands slightly rotated externally. My fingers are pointing out and away from me. And I like this form. I find it's really good on my elbows and on my shoulders, and I don't have any elbow or shoulder pain, which I sometimes will have with other forms of push-ups. I could go relatively wide, and I just like it. I like this. This is what I'm going to be trying out for a little while, and I think it looks a lot better. I know it's not perfect. I'm sure there's someone somewhere who's going to say, well, you got to do the hollow body at the top. You got to do it perfectly. But when you're doing 1,000,000, good luck doing 1,000,000 perfectly. Good luck. It's not going to happen. A robot would freaking not do it. A robot would need some grease, and then it'll freaking slip on the grease and fall over. Like, you just can't do it. You could try. You should try. You should do your best. And I think I'm trying here. But at the end of the day, there's a limit. And if you can improve a little bit every single day, maybe that's just good enough. And maybe that'll help you make it. So that's what this video is about, is 2 nerds. And speaking of nerd stuff, I got some numbers to bring up. And I think I might mess this up because I did not prepare for this video, to be completely honest. I'm just recording this raw. 40,060 push-ups is what I started at, and I believe I did 463. I hope I got that right. I believe I did 463, which would put me at 40,523 push-ups completed. I'll put the number on screen in case I'm wrong, but I think that's what it was. 463 push-ups. Feels good. Feels good putting up some big numbers again. It feels good being able to do push-ups at a heavier weight. Now that I'm, in the middle of this bulk, in the midst of it, doing the push-ups is actually going to be really awesome, because I am currently working through some leg pain, and I talked about those in my most recent leg day, but I'm not going to be focusing too much on legs. I want to focus in different areas of my training, and one huge area is going to be push-ups. I want to get tons and tons and tons of push-ups done. Yeah, I just want to keep working on these. I want to get my form really good, get it dialed in, and build up my endurance as well, because I know at I'm about 195 to 200. I'll go up to 200 with a full stomach, but I'm bulked up. That's what I'm saying. I'm bulked up. I'm normally like 170 or 175. I'm still about 20 or 25 pounds heavier than I usually am. That means the bulk is successfully proceeding as planned, and I'm just slowly easing into the cut. I am eating very clean at this point, like super clean, only whole foods. I'm eating as much as I can, and I'm just trimming off a little bit of weight at a time. Using fasting, I'm also fasting, using fasting once a week and intermittent fasting every single day. I'm able to trim down very proficiently, and this is I want to say this is the best like bulk cut cycle I've probably ever done throughout my decade of training. This is the best weight loss cycle I've done, and I'm gonna get crazy lean at a very similar weight to where I was at before, just because I know I put on a decent amount of mass, and I'm really happy about that. And I'm happy to show it off fairly soon, probably at the beginning of next year, around February or March. I'll be showing off what I've been able to achieve, and I'm really excited for that because I went over my bodybuilding stuff a while ago, but my arms were about 15.5 inches and the forearms were like 13 inches. I got some solid measurements. My chest was like 42.5. I'm just happy with where my measurements were at. And as I am kind of lean bulking, or I don't know what you'd call it, I'm leaning down. I want to keep that size relatively similar. If I could get lean with 15-inch arms, or like even 15.25, that would be really cool. That'd be super cool, and that'd be like probably the biggest I've been yet. And I'm hoping to continue building size. I've been able to put on about an inch on my arms year on year, and I know these push-ups are going to help quite a bit with that. For the past like 2 years, I put on an inch on my arms, and that's just been really cool. I've had major changes in my training, and I've become much more productive, and also I've been working harder. I'm just really excited for the future. The future looks really bright in my opinion. I hope it does for you as well. Make sure you click that link below to work one-on-one with me if you're interested in getting in the best shape of your life. That's where you go to schedule a call with me. We talk, I ask you some questions about your fitness and your goals, and we see if we're basically a good combination to work together. And I'll give you some resources on how you could approach going to your goals, and then you get to decide if you'd like to work with me. So definitely check that link out below. Thank you for watching. I'm at 40,523 push-ups. I really hope I got that right, because it'd be really lame if I got it wrong. And I just want to thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.